Hi everyone, I'm Meg,
I'm Abby.
and welcome to our YouTube channel. Who would have thought?
Not me.
Not me.
Look at us.
Look at us. So we wanted to create essentially a safe space to have conversations about all things anxiety.
Yeah.
And
To bring awareness and hopefully to educate people. I know one of my target audience for this is parents, because with the anxiety that I've dealt with, it hasn't been the easiest having parents who don't understand.
It's been quite a challenge.
It's quite hard, and even now trying to educate our parents is still hard, because you'll talk about it and they're like, what does it feel like? What is it? Can't you just come here? Can't you just go do this? And it's there's so much more in your brain that goes on.
Yeah.
And this year as well, I've met some people who don't have anxiety and don't understand why I don't go out sometimes or why I don't want to go to certain places. And I think it's just a good way to educate people and to just be us, raw,
Real.
everything,
Authentic,
just on the
vulnerable.
table. Because it just takes one person. It just takes one story for you to be comfortable and to realize that people struggle the same way you do. And you're not alone. You're never alone. And so this is our goal, to just bring you guys along on our journey and to hopefully help you open up about yours.
Mm-hmm. And we understand, anxiety is different for everybody. My anxiety is totally different than
100%.
Abby's anxiety, and
100%.
I experience anxiety totally differently than she does. We have conversations all the time being I wish you could be in my brain for 1 second.
Yeah, just I wish you could understand the situation the way that I do, because it's you have your own factory in your brain of anxiety. The only way I describe it to my parents is you have your own factory in your brain of a million different little thoughts about a million different little things.
Yeah.
Or there's so many memes about 1,000 open tabs in your brain, and it's so accurate.
Yeah, it's so true. She'll have anxiety about something that I don't have anxiety
You
about.
wouldn't even think that to be an anxious thought.
No, so we think completely differently.
But we've also been learning from each other, and I think that's what's made
it's
us
been so helpful.
Yeah, and made us want to start this is by one person, you're learning so much.
Yeah.
I've learned so much about your anxiety, and you've definitely learned so much about mine. So
well, and the nice thing too is, as we've grown and as we've gotten older and experienced so many different forms of anxiety, we've been able to educate our parents for each other. We advocate for each other.
Yeah.
Which is good.
And other people, my friends, I've had so many people reach out to me because just for someone to talk to, and I love that. I love just being that safe space for someone to come to when they need it, and that's our goal, is to have a safe space. We have an Instagram account, and it's just we want one big community of just people who can be themselves and
just share our stories.
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Yes.
We are in no way therapists,
Professional.
psychiatrists. We are not here to tell anybody what to do or how to handle a situation. We are just sharing.
We are just sharing our journey. There's no
And if it helps somebody, or if tips or tricks that we've learned over the years are able to help, then
this
that's
is not
awesome.
coming from a professional background. This is just our journey. So just wanted to get that out there, because this is just us. And I found with quarantine and everything, me sharing with my friends or family, just being me has helped. And so we came up with this idea, because to just be out there for other people and be open about our journeys and our stories, like I said, it takes one person and one story.
I think too, as kids growing up with anxiety, our parents never understood it.
No, and even now, our parents, when I'm talking to my mom or my dad, they'd be like, I wish we knew then. I wish we knew when you were crying about a thunderstorm or didn't want to go to school that it was anxiety.
Yeah.
And 100% my life would be totally different if they had that knowledge, because I would have got the help at such a young age, rather than at 19, where I've had to kind of realize it on my own that I have anxiety. and then be like, hey guys, I have anxiety.
Remember when I cried at 4 years old?
I need the help. So
yeah, our hope is to just kind of bring light to it for parents that maybe have children that are suffering and they don't know it.
Yeah.
Because it can present in so many different ways.
Yeah, for sure. And it's no matter what age, I'll tell you that it can show up in so young. And I always see people, like, you always see those comments being like, what does an 8-year-old have to be like depressed or anxious about? And it's sad because that's the society we live in right now. Yeah, like,
it is sad.
An 8-year-old can pick up on a lot.
Yeah.
Even younger than that can pick up on a lot. Like, I was in kindergarten when I first had signs of anxiety, even younger maybe.
She was in kindergarten and I was in grade 8, and I would have to sit with her before I could go to my own class because she would cry and cry and cry for like at least an hour or two. And we just thought she had like crazy like fear of going to school.
Yeah, and that's where I just want to help the most, is because I wish younger me understood. And obviously at like how that young you are, you're not going to be like, oh, like, Mom, I'm anxious. They don't even know what that means.
Yeah. But if a parent can recognize that and pick up on it,
it's so much more than a tantrum. Yeah. Like, it's so much more than a tantrum or them acting out. There's these massive emotions in a little body, and they can't navigate through it. They don't know the terms. They don't like... You're going to tell a 3-year-old or 4-year-old like anxiety. They don't know, but they're feeling it, and they can't...
Little kids have big feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just one of the things is, like, it's in kids, and that's like one of our goals, because I've struggled with it my whole life, too.
And even in teenagers, too, right? Like, it's grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10. Yeah. Like, it's not always like you're a moody teenager.
No, you know? And that's the thing is, especially when you're close to people, like, there's so many fights. Yeah. There's so many times when I lash out because I'm anxious, but I can't voice that, and my family gets it all. And I see it in my brother too. Like, he'll shut down or just be so off, and it requires so much patience and learning and just being there. But it's also very easy to pick up on. Like, if you understand anxiety and really, really know what it looks like, and again, it looks different for everybody. It looks so different.
Like, it presents physically. So I get headaches, I get nauseous, I get shaky. Yeah. I sweat. Yeah. I like panic. It's just
it's so different for everybody. And I just feel like this needs to be out there. Like, this just needs to be a very open conversation. And when you bring someone into the mix who doesn't have anxiety and then someone who does, you're like, it's two different worlds. And so to just even make those relationships easier, like, I met someone this year who doesn't have anxiety and doesn't like understand why I don't want to do things or like go to people's houses, and it's been a very interesting learning experience for her, but also for me.
I was going to say, it's a learning process.
To open up and educate my friends and like the people who are closest to me, because that's so important, is to be open with your family and your friends, which can be very hard. But that's our goal, is to like
we just want to normalize
it. Yeah,
we just want to normalize it and make it something that can be comfortable to be talked about. And it's not us telling anybody what to do. We're just
and I don't want anyone to feel and I don't want anyone to feel judged or like anything about not knowing about it. It's hard to learn. Like,
it's very hard. It's
an illness.
We're still learning,
and we've dealt with it for so long.
Yeah, but we're still learning. We're constantly learning and trying to educate each other and educate myself. Like, anxiety can show up in new forms like every day.
Oh yeah, 100%. And there's so many different kinds. It's not just anxiety. There's like, I struggle with separation anxiety, social anxiety. Like, there's so many. You have health anxiety.
Yeah, health anxiety is a new one for me, so I've been navigating that this year, and that's presented in different forms that I've never felt before. So it's about navigating the feelings and the thoughts and how you move through the moment, and it's a lot of work.
Even now, like, being your sister, it's like, how do I help?
Yeah.
Like, you're freaking out, like, self-diagnosing about some illness that you read off Google, and it's like, what can I do?
Yeah.
So that's another thing is, like, it's just we want to give those tips or, like, those hints or just share our experience so that you can take what we've learned and, like, anything that we've done,
and how we've helped each other, and what helps with the overthinking, and what helps with the health anxiety, and what helps with the social anxiety, and the going out into the world anxiety. And so we've learned a lot along the way, and if we can even help somebody in one way, then that 100%, would be amazing. But essentially, we're just here to have a conversation and shed light on what we have found works for us, and
just be a place to just help everybody, like as many people as we can, whether you deal with it, dealt with it,
don't know what
about
it is,
don't know about it,
like, want to know about it.
There's always so much to learn. I'm still learning about, like, different forms of anxiety, but it's like we can all learn together and be supportive and just a safe space. Because I know too, like, so many times, sometimes you don't want to talk to someone you're close to or your family member, and so we have an Instagram account, we have a page, we have our YouTube, we have our own personal Instagram account. So if anyone needs, like, someone to talk to as well, though, we have our accounts open. So it's just
share your story if you feel comfortable. Share your story, have a chat,
keep up with us.
Follow along.
Each week we'll have some kind of new topic of life and what we've gone through, our anxieties, our struggles,
our roller coaster of emotions that go on in our brains.
Yeah. And it's us. It's going to be raw and real and
vulnerable, authentic, the good, the bad,
the ugly,
the breakdowns, the fights.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
All of it.
It's all
we'll touch on it all.
It's just us.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So if you want to follow along on our journey, please feel free to subscribe.
We appreciate it 100%. And we hope you want to join our little
community
and just, it's fun. It's a safe,
it's easy. It's easygoing. It's light.
Yeah.
We're not here to judge. We're here to just kind of share our story and hope that maybe our tips and tricks are helpful.
That will help you,
because we've tried a lot of tips and tricks along the way.
It's a lot of
trial and error. Yeah. That's us.
Yeah, this is
Look at us.
But
yeah. Stay tuned. We're going to drop a video every Monday, and each week we're going to try and do a different topic on anxiety and maybe bring in some people to interview.
Yeah.
Socially distanced, Zoom-wise. We'll figure it out along the way.
Little driveway hangouts.
Yeah.
But just to even pick up on other people's stories, like, we'll definitely get our mom in an episode.
Yeah.
My friends.
Just different viewpoints on it, because there's so many. Like, someone who struggles with anxiety sees anxiety as something totally different than, like, our parents.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And there's so many, like, times where someone is like, I wish, like, I knew that other people felt this, and they 100% do. Like, you're never alone. There's so many people out there who won't, like, who aren't talking about it, and sometimes they can't. Like, it took me forever to be able to put the proper words together to try and explain how I'm feeling. So
and it's hard to figure out how you're feeling half the time.
So even to just give you guys the strength and, like,
the platform,
to just let it out, like, talk about it. It's okay to talk about how you're feeling, and it's okay to not be okay.
Oh yeah.
And especially
this year. This year has been a wild ride for a lot of people. So,
and especially with, like, men and boys in society, like, it's a safe space to talk, and you're allowed to break down. You're allowed to feel these emotions. You're allowed to not be okay. You don't have to be strong 24/7.
It doesn't make you a weak human being or any less of a human being to have feelings.
No. So I think that just everybody needs to understand that. Like, you don't need to just hide your emotions, because it'll come out eventually.
No, we cry all the time.
Yeah.
We try not to.
It's a problem. Like, that's my way of dealing with it, is I won't cry, because I think I'm weak, but that's not it.
But it's funny, because we know when we cry. Like, I know when she cries.
I'm like, don't touch me.
But she'll hide, and, like, I'll do the same thing. And then she's like, were you crying? I'm like, no. Yes, I was.
But, like, we wait too long. You let it build up, you don't talk about it, and then months later, you have, like, an hour-long...
explosion.
You have an hour-long breakdown, and it's just... I want to normalize those emotions and being yourself and letting them out. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And if anything, like, that makes you stronger to show those emotions in that side of you. So there's so many different topics and things that we have to talk about.
There's so much coming your way.
This is going to be very fun. And
I'm excited.
Hopefully very helpful for a lot of people. That's our main goal, is to just help and be that safe space for you guys. So
stay tuned.
Thanks for watching our first video.
We appreciate the love.
Thank you.